YouTube world, what it do, what is good, YouTube world. Y'all already know who it is, the one man, four styles and flavor of DFW Sports. Oh, man, let's just jump into it right now, man. I don't really have no hyperboles or anything like that. Y'all already know. Y'all see the decor in the background. Y'all already, you know how we rocking up in here, how we're doing our thing. And, man, ugh. It's been some better days for the Cowboys, man. It's been some better days. That game yesterday, it had all the same feeling. Now, you got folks out there saying it's not the same. I'm coming to give you perspective from a person, not to say I'm a bigger fan than anybody else that represent Cowboys Nation. But before going farther, y'all already know. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification chime. Follow me on X at Drewski Selfmade. Also, check me out on Instagram at Drewski. But I'm just, for a guy who was at the Packers game last year and at the Saints game, I'm here to tell you right now, that game was literally the same, but the Saints, they actually turned it up a notch. It was about just as many Packer fans as it was last time, as Saints fans as it was in there. So, I mean, before anybody try to blame the fans or anything like that, bruh, look, it was just a lot of Saints fans in there. I went to the mall. That's why you see the bag back there. I went to the mall to the pro shop yesterday at the parks in Arlington. So I went there, and I swear for every 4 people I came across by, it was Saints fans. So I knew they would be there. That wasn't the issue. The main issue where this kind of feels the same, to me, this is where it kind of feels the same, is where the Cowboys defense, they got hit in the mouth and they realized they had no answer for the opposition, and they basically mailed it in. We get into y'all later. I know a lot of people are watching the Monday night game. I got the ticker going up as it goes. But at the same time, the Cowboys defense, it went the worst way. And if you follow me on X when I was at the game, tweeting live or posting live, when they basically scored on their third offensive possession, it was like, bro, are y'all going to do anything? What really turned it off for me, where I think the game, you knew it was going to be over, but the defense, after the first 2 possessions when they got bombed on, they really just was like, they had this look like whatever we prepared for all week, we didn't prepare correctly, or our game plan was not good. So it's been a lot of back and forth going about, is this Mike Zimmer's fault for his game planning, or is it strictly on the players? I think it's really on both. I think, to be honest with you, Mike Zimmer and their game plan, they probably underestimated this. I don't want to say they underestimated the Saints, but it just looked like they all did not prepare correctly, from the coaching down to the players. It just looked like their preparation for what they prepared for was totally either different or at another speed or at a physical pace than what they practiced for. Because the Saints on all cylinders came out firing. And I don't want to say they tricked us or anything like that. They used a lot of motion, but at the same time, they really knocked dudes off the line of scrimmage, got to the second level on linebackers. Your weakest spot is at linebacker, and once you're in a situation where you got extra tight ends and sometimes you're getting fullbacks in there, now you have offensive linemen to basically do what they need to do in the trenches, and then you got the tight ends. They can also help on the edge. The offensive line is getting to your linebackers. It's a bad recipe for disaster. But after giving up the first 2 touchdowns, it was like, bro, the defense is going to be in for a long. You could already tell the defense was going to be in for a long night. When CD Lamb caught that touchdown pass and he broke loose and scored. This is where you were like, hey, okay. Cowboys, they got a touchdown because at the end of the day, they were scoring. They were just putting up field goals while the Saints was putting up touchdowns. But after that CD Lamb touchdown, I was like, okay, we might have something here. If the defense can just get a stop. That's what every Cowboy fan was in there just saying, can we just get a stop? We might be all right. And I mean, the Saints went right down the field with no hesitation, put up a touchdown. And basically, now you're in a bad situation because now the offense, now Dak Prescott is in a situation where he's going to have to score. And this is something I said on Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that is sports that we do every Wednesday night that we're starting to show y'all here on the channel. I kept saying the game plan, the recipe is out. Get physical with the Cowboys, especially their defense. Punch them in the mouth, put touchdowns on the board, force Dak Prescott and them to score touchdowns on every drive because you're gonna get you 1 or 2 from them. It's all reminiscent. Was the Saints game a 2.0 of the Packers game? You can speaking from a guy who was there, from a guy who was at both of them. Yeah, it was. I don't give a fuck what they talking about. Some of these people, talking about, no, it was not that these are different players. I don't give a damn about the players. What he's saying is the style and how they got beat on, where it's like, did y'all come ready to play? Maybe you didn't. I just think their game plan, especially on defense, was just it wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. And it seemed like whatever they tried to do and adjust to, the Saints really had an answer for and they were ready for. And they just kept carving the Cowboys up. They really did whatever they wanted to do. I mean, I think you getting about 12 yards a play. You got your ass torched. Dre, what's up, bro? What's up, man? Same old Cowboy. Big ups to you, man. Appreciate you for joining the chat, man. Yeah, I'm just getting this off my chest. I tried to go live yesterday after the game. For a little portion of it, I started going live. But once I hit the Miller house, bros, all signal got straight, like, cut out of there. Because I sat there and, it go dead for you. It's saying it's disconnected. Try to reconnect. I kept trying to reconnect, kept trying to reconnect. It just wasn't happening. And then by that time, it's the contingent of Saints fans running out there. And I'm having my back and forth going on. So at that same time, once that wasn't happening, I had to keep 2 hands ready, if you understand. But it didn't get there, but it was a lot. It was in the heat of the moment. I still talked my shit, but there's no need to say how I talk shit. If you follow me on X, you'll probably understand. But I just made my gesture, and yeah, they got mad at that. I mean, but it is what it is. I didn't take away that they got the W. And the Saints, to be honest with you, I don't. They see us as a rivalry, and I don't. I never have seen the Saints as no competition or rivalry. And when I'm saying that, I'm not like dismissing their win or anything like that. I'm just saying, as me growing up watching football, being a Cowboys fan, I never seen the Saints, as anything, as like, to be mad at about or anything. Now, my high school year, the Katrina happened. And then I guess it made this where you from type thing like that. But sports wise, and then I've always told y'all know the Chargers is my second They my AFC team, basically. But it started with Drew Brees, and then they added LaDainian Tomlinson. So I've always had love for Drew Brees when he went to the Saints. I was like, man, him and Sean Payton, they can do some things. I was real happy. I wasn't happy for the Saints. I was happy for Drew Brees, but it wasn't to say when the Saints played the Colts, it wasn't like I was sitting there like, damn, I hope the Saints lose. That was not the case. So I don't see them like that. I really don't. But for them to, 44-19 in our house, bro, there's nothing I can say. I was in amongst of a line of Saints fans where I was sitting at. It was they were thick in there. And they had this, they had the arrogance that they were going to win. And they had the arrogance that they were going to win big. And by golly, they were right. All I can say is, Saints, you better cash in now, or you better make this offensive coordinator your head coach. Because he had a fun, the way he got his people schemed up. You can say the Panthers was a team, and then you can say the Cowboys got exposed, as my man Andre saying right here. But at the same time, they made what I seen from the Saints in 2 games is they have put their will on the opponent, especially on their defense and defensive line and linebackers. They make them quit. They make them quit. And early, because they got their head spinning. They don't know where the extra block is coming from. All the motion is going. Their heads, whatever happened to the Panthers, it traveled to the Cowboys because Cowboys' heads were spinning. They were spinning. You can say it was effort, but they literally looked like they prepared for something that whatever they prepared for during the week, when they got to the game Sunday, it was a total different thing that they saw, or it was just so far up to speed. So either you didn't prepare well. I just think they didn't prepare well. They can say it's execution. A lot of us saying it's game plan. I'm just saying you saw the Cowboys actually try. Even in the base defense, they still tried to do different things, and it just wasn't working. Give credit to the Saints, man. They did exactly what they were supposed to do. Their offensive coordinator knew what they got cooking. They got Alvin Kamara in the right type of system. And the bigger thing about it is they were able to dominate. Not only they got whatever they wanted, but they were physical. They straight up punked the fucking Cowboys, bro. Straight up. They punked them boys. And where I want to say is 2.0, this is everything reminiscent what you saw from the Cowboys in the Tony Romo era, bro. How many times did we sit here and say Romo, he has to be perfect? He has to be perfect because he's going to have to score every time because of the defense that he has. And when the defense is getting bombed on and Romo had to play a perfect game, the defenses knew, look, long as our offense keeps scoring and putting up touchdowns, he's going to give us 1, maybe 2. That same blueprint is with Dak Prescott. Like I said, Dak Prescott to me was doing all he could, but I'm telling you, once Jalen Brooks slipped off that route and they caused the interception, Dak went in the tank. Dak went into the tank, bro. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. This is where he started pressing, and he got locked in too much on 88. But I honestly think it's just the game plan. Kamara was just, bro. He ate. And you looked at the run game for the Cowboys, bro. Deuce Vaughn, I'm proud of all the short dudes. Don't get me wrong, but to see Wanye Thomas out there returning kicks, knowing ain't nobody, this is what I'm saying. What sense does it make to know that Kevontae Turpin scored a special teams touchdown, knowing that he will most likely, well, since your defense couldn't force a stop and force a punt, he is most likely not going to see no action because they scored a lot of times to do kickoffs. And you got Wanye Thomas back there, knowing teams ain't going to kick it to Kevontae. Come on, bro. Come on now. Why is Wanye back there? To me, Deuce Vaughn had a better chance being back there. Now your third running back or your running back situation, I think they just need to stick with Rico Dowdle being number one. Let's just call it what it is. But at the same time, even if you keep him number one, are you actually going to run the ball? Are you going to be able to run the ball? Are you going to be able to run the ball? Because right now, as we seen through 2 games, they are not really able to run the football. Like I said, being at that game, Jalen Brooks falls on that interception. After that, Dak, he's back to being Dak. The pressure is on him, and he folded. But this is not on one person, one unit, one coach, not just Jerry. This is a total undressing that the New Orleans Saints organization and their coaching staff did to this franchise on that Sunday yesterday afternoon in AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Of course, it'll be something that they'll never forget. I just hope we get a chance to even a scope. That's all I can hope for. But stay on topic of the game. Being at that game, I'm just telling you, bro, after the second touchdown, the way the defense gave it up, it was like, bro, I just hope that can answer. Like I said, CeeDee Lamb caught that touchdown, and I was like, okay, we might be back in there. We might be back in there. And then the defense just flat out gave up another drive. I mean, 70 yards. It's like, bro, what are y'all? What's up? And then they quit. They quit. They get soft. Like I said, I can't put this on one unit, one person, one coach. Do I think Mike Zimmer game plan got took to the woodshed? Yes, I totally do. But at the same time, his players didn't make it no better because once it looked like, okay, our game plan wasn't right, they didn't even have the heart to adjust, the effort to adjust. Let me not say heart. They didn't have the effort to adjust, and they kind of just quit and left Dak out there to dry. Now you're looking at Dak in the offense. I mean, Dak, he had him a shot when I believe it was Ezekiel Elliott coming out the backfield, but the pressure got right into his face, and he just didn't want to set his feet, and boom. He ended up throwing the ball in the dirt that could have easily been a touchdown. But I'm going to be honest with you. Even if Dak and the offense is scoring touchdowns, bro, the Saints put up 60 points. I'm being real because they really could have kept it going. They could have kept it going. They didn't punt till the fourth quarter. They could have really kept that stuff going. So if the Cowboys kept scoring, bro, they were going to put up 60. They were going to put up 60. You right. The Ranger season is about to be over with, and I plan to. Today's Monday. Let me try to keep getting more content coming in, but I'll talk a lot of mixture of DFW sports coming on tomorrow. Like I said, I normally do it on Wednesdays. Now I started bringing y'all that channel in, but I can kind of say like I want to say it, but at the same time, I'm just stuck on these Cowboys right now, and Maverick season will be something to see. The Stars as well. You kind of wonder, did they make enough moves to actually get over the hump as well? But sticking on the Cowboys and Saints, man, the Cowboys just got their asses washed, bro. I will put it to you like this. I got some shorts to put out. I really don't want to put out where it's us getting drugged, but any publicity is good publicity, I guess. That's how it goes into YouTube. So, because that game really literally for offensively had one highlight, which I caught it, which I'll be able to share it, but there's nothing too much you can sit there and say about the whole thing. The questions were asked, were they riding too high going into this game? I think they didn't take the Saints. I don't want to say they didn't really respect it. And they fucked around and found out. That's really how me being at the game, that's exactly the feel I got right there. Like, y'all didn't believe and y'all fucked around and y'all found out in the worst way. Best way I can put it. That's the best way I can put it. That's how it all looked. Like I said, offensively in the first half, the Cowboys moved the ball. They sustained drives. They got first downs. So you mean to tell me that whole time over there, y'all made adjustments and it just got worse and worse and worse and it snowballed away from y'all. That's where I'm saying Mike Zimmer got took to the woodshed. But at the same time, his players didn't do him no favors because once it was time to adjust after about the third touch, really the second touchdown, you could tell in their body language. But by that third touchdown, especially after getting a touchdown, it was like, nah, we don't want to play no more. We don't want to play no more. We don't want to play no more. Do you think the season is already over, or too soon? It's too soon. It's too soon. I mean, it sucks, especially like I said, my last two home games. I went to the Packers game and then I went to the Saints game. For the last two times. Now, I'm speaking from a person who done spent that money, done went to them games. So when I say that shit was reminiscent, that shit was reminiscent. I don't care what people be trying to say. But to say the season is over, nah. But what I will concur and will say, Cowboys have a lot of work to do. And until they find a way to really get bigger and stout in the defensive middle, because I'm telling you, the jury is out on them. The jury is out on them. Get physical with them. Get physical with them. And if you're able to get to the second level on their linebackers, you're washing them. And once you're able to run the football, everything works. All corners got burnt. You know, they kept us in that situation where you have to either play or pass it off, and you pass it off, safeties flat-footed, and they're getting toasted. I just think they didn't respect Derek Carr's arm. They didn't respect the Saints and what they did week one before, saying that it was just against the Panthers. And a lot of us Cowboy fans was kind of feeling the same way. I'm kind of guilty of that as well, but I had it in my head where, look, you mean to tell me they putting up 45 in week one where a lot of teams are adjusting and trying to figure, working out the kinks, and they put up a 40 burger? They don't put up 40 burgers in back-to-back weeks. Nah, that's a sign of a team that knows what they want to do, and they're well coached, and they were well prepared, and they executed. Mike McCarthy, as this is what I hate to see, because as every loss comes along, the clamor just gets louder. But to say the season is over, nah, man. You get 15 more tries at it. You do. I'm not gonna sit up here and say like Dak Prescott and how the rest of them, you're not gonna go undefeated because no team in history has, done it in 50 years. Well, I'm like, nah, really, the Patriots went undefeated. They won more games and went undefeated. They just happened to lose the last one, but they still went 18-0. What team has went 18-0? All right, so a team has went undefeated. That's because they were well coached. They had a great quarterback and they had a great defensive thing going on. And I still believe in Foe. But the running game, we got to fix that. We got to find out who's going to be the running back and let him take the load, and how are we going to just basically spell him? Or what is the game plan for all these running backs that you got coming in? Because you're doing it by committee, but you're not giving them roles, it seemed like. That's the frustrating part I'm having with Mike McCarthy and this running back by committee. It's cool to have a running back by committee, but you can't have a running back by committee and expect them to all do the same things, and they're not the same running backs. That is what's so frustrating. Why have a you got a committee? That's fine. But if his role is better at doing this, then you need to be focusing on putting him there. If his role, if Zeke's role is better at doing this, then you need to make sure you focus on putting that there. This making them all just fit into the offense and doing type stuff, it's not working. And it looks like it just looks bad. It looks bad. Now, you mean to tell me Dalvin Cook, is he that much out of shape? Is he that far up out of the playbook? I mean, you tell me. You tell me. Of course, you got to understand the playbook, but it's up to the coaching staff to make sure they're putting their players in the best position to succeed. Last time I checked, the Saints offensive coordinator, which is another Shanahan tree, he put his players in the best position to succeed. And what they do, they execute it. The result, 44-19 on the road. Yeah, it wasn't even a road game. It was damn near it was a bowl game. It had the atmosphere of a bowl game. And where I was, it was plenty of Saints fans. So you can imagine how I already feel. But at the same time, like I said, I had my shit talking going back. I really did. Now you're wondering what I was telling them. I just know I did. There's probably some videos of Saints fans already having your boy out there, but for me, it was easy. It was easy to troll back. But I don't believe this season is over, not one bit. What you got to do is make sure that Sunday don't happen next Sunday at 3:25 coming against a Baltimore Raven team that is thirsting to get them into the win column. And their coach is starting to get on the hot seat. So this is going to be one of those games. And the jury is out on the Cowboys. If you get physical with them and you score touchdowns on their defense, if you can score multiple touchdowns on their defense and do it early, the defense is going to question themselves and they're going to get took out the game. And then that just puts pressure on Dak Prescott. As far as we know, from the proof of the pudding that it shows, like I said, this ain't one person's fault. But it shows if Dak has to score touchdowns all the time, it doesn't end good. It doesn't end good. Andre tell him, hey, the formula not work. Like I said, running back by committee is cool, but if you know your roles of your running backs and you got roles for them where they can execute and they're put in positions to succeed, then yes, you can have a committee. But you got three guys back here trying to do the same stuff. That is already a failure right there. So he has to figure out what is he going to do with his run game. Sometimes running the football doesn't always have to be in between the tackles or just using your line of scrimmage. You can get them on outside passes, and stuff like that. For as much check down Charlie Dak Prescott was yesterday, a lot of those passes could have swung out to the running back and got you some extra running yards. Stuff like that is all I'm saying. And for me, it was telling. It was telling for Dak Prescott to have no CeeDee Lamb all off season and basically trying to develop this rapport with these receivers, all the Jalen's, all them dudes, just for him to when it started to press on him and his receiver basically. Everybody wanted pass interference. That wasn't pass interference. The receiver flat out fell, bro. He flat out fell. Yeah. Brooks flat out falls. Dak gets picked. And after that, bro, you would think he done built up a trust. But right after that, the thrill is gone. The trust was gone. The trust was gone. He didn't. Okay, I just got to find CD. He didn't look for Schoonamaker. He didn't look for Brandon Cooks. He didn't look for Tolbert. No more. It was either check down or it was going to be CeeDee Lamb. So that is a telling thing that I saw. I'm just saying from what I saw. When it really got rough and he needed touchdowns all the time and then his receiver fell that cost him a pick, he said, to hell with all y'all. I honestly believe Dak needs to use his legs way much more than he does, bro. They offense can move, and I think in the red zone, the offense will be much converting touchdowns on a higher clip if they're using, I don't want to say run game, quarterback run game, but just the ability to use his legs for sure. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's going on, man? Talking about this nightmare demolition that the Saints put on the Cowboys yesterday. I've seen better days. I'm good. Like I said, I was at the game. My voice is chapped, but I was doing a lot of going back and forth shit talking. I had my way of talking shit. But appreciate you for joining the chat. Everything going well, man. I mean, football season. Um, Cowboy fans, it's okay to feel some type of way. I think the Cowboys it just sucks to get it rubbed in by neighboring state fans that you see a lot of Louisiana people live here. A lot of them live here. So you see them all the time. And like I said, for me personally, and I'm not trying to disparage what the Saints did, but you know, I've never seen the New Orleans Saints like that. I never seen where I would get that mad where I would want to plex with them. Nah, that's not the case. Or when we beat them to talk that much shit about it, it's like move on. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not really trying to make that disrespectful or anything, but that's just how I'm saying. But Cowboys get undressed, man. It's just one of them games where you just hope it don't affect them for the rest of the season, and not the rest of the season, just this week coming up, because you're gonna have a team that's desperate to get a win, and they see the jury is out. Get physical with y'all. So I don't know how you get physical overnight. You're starting to look at this Mozzie Smith pick. All that help you went and got at the defensive tackle, it ain't working. I don't want to say it ain't working. Everybody's going to say players, but I just think the game plan was just destroyed by what the Saints presented. And everything we tried to adjust with, because like I said, the defense had time to adjust. The offense made sustainable drives. Now, they didn't put up all touchdowns, but they sustained drives and went and got points. Just for the defense get they got straight chopped up. Straight chopped up. Now, what I'm going to do here as 10 o'clock getting ready to rise, I'm going to look at the all 22, even though I really don't need to. I really don't need to. I was up close and personal, to be honest with you. I seen what the fuck happened. And they just basically got blown right off the damn field, bro. And they got their teeth kicked in. That's all that was. That's really all that was. Unfortunately, the truth has got to be told. And then the Cowboys just laid down. Is it some fixing to do? Yeah, but it starts within the mirror. And I think what Mike McCarthy has going against him is it's not believable if he can get his guys ready to go. Now you're gonna sit here and say these guys make a lot of money. They should already be up ready to go. Well, if you've ever played sport, I mean, you can go do your job the best you can, but it always helps when you have something to strengthen you. Iron sharpens iron. The saying goes. You want something to sharpen your iron. And it just seems to me, what I'm finding out is if you have a good coach and you're a physical football team, also with a good quarterback, but if you got those three elements, you're going to beat the Cowboys. That's kind of how, that's the alarming thing that you're getting, because the Saints might in all might just be a good team. And if they are a good team, then the question is still out. Y'all can't be good teams. Now, this wouldn't have had anything to do. This wasn't strictly on Dak on that case, but it comes out that y'all can't do nothing against good teams and against good coached teams. Y'all can't do nothing with. Y'all can't do nothing with. So that's something that this organization is just going to have to find out. I honestly think with the lack of offseason moves or interest that you actually did, you just created this yourself where You just hope that this team don't lose confidence in themselves going forward. That's what I'm hoping, that this team just is not going to lose confidence going forward. It's not going to be easy. Definitely not going to be easy going forward. The Ravens are going to present a hellacious challenge. We know this. Cowboys, y'all got to be ready for it. And I hear y'all talking. I seen Michael Parsons on this podcast talking about, it's on them and they're going to get better and they're going to correct it. Man, look, y'all better off not saying nothing. I'd rather y'all give me the Bill Belichick and say, look, we're on to Baltimore. I'd rather y'all say that. We're on to Baltimore. But to sit up in here and take for Mike Zimmer and, of course you're going to take up for your we don't expect you to do nothing none less. But let's be real, man. Y'all game plan was not good. And then y'all couldn't execute what y'all game plan was because it was so overmatched. And it made y'all quit. Y'all didn't even want to have the will to adjust and respond. But half the stuff y'all tried to adjust with, they were just a step ahead of you. And I think Mike McCarthy at the same time is him and Dak is almost in the same boat, because once they realize they got to score a touchdown every drive, the play calling seems funny and Dak gets funny. I wish I was lying, but that's really been the proof that's been going on right now, man. It's not a steady thing right there. Like I said, I tried to go live after the game yesterday, but once I got to the Miller Lighthouse, bro, the signal got dead. And I mean, reconnect to the point so much, I was just like, man, forget it. A whole bunch of Saints fans came through there talking they shit. So I had to talk some shit, and I just had to be ready. I'll put it to you that way. But I mean, what can I take away from this from the Cowboys? Well, your kicker, he'll be there. He's going to be there whenever you call him. Brandon Aubermatic will be there for sure. He's going to be there. He's about your biggest, brightest points you had right there. Brandon Aubrey is going to get you to places where if you can just play some good enough defense, you'll be all right. Hell, had they were able to get stops that game, maybe 19 points could have did it. I think without this offensive coordinator that they got, but had this been like their old offensive coordinator the year before, 19 points would have did it. But their offensive coordinator got them cooking. So, and like I said, sometimes you got to give props to where props is due. I don't have a bad bone against any team unless you're Philadelphia. I don't want to talk about Houston fans, but but at the same time, what I'm saying is, coming from them games, coming from these two last ass whoopings where y'all been dominant at home, man, and just the last two games at home, man, y'all shit the bed. And if you haven't already, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that notification chime. Follow me on X at Drewski Selfmade. Also follow me on Instagram at Drewski. But bro, to see y'all come out like that, that's not cool. That's not cool. Like, y'all need to give us some of our money back. I'm telling you, I plan to try to go to this game Sunday. And if you motherfuckers get y'all ass washed like y'all did again, bro, you ain't got to worry about me going. I don't care if it's the cheap seats. You ain't got to worry about me going. Because yesterday, it was close. It was close. It was close, but then it wasn't close, if you know what I mean. Where a lot of shit could have went down. But I'm not trying to take away from anybody, anything like that. But just looking at it, Cowboys in the first half offensively, they did what they could do. They just didn't put up touchdowns, while the Saints kept putting up touchdowns. So what that tell you? Offense, y'all have to capitalize in the money in the red zone, bro. Y'all have to. And the defense, until we get right at the defensive tackle spot, until we get right in the middle, right there, until we can get right, it's going to be a long season for the Dallas Cowboys. It will be a long season for the Dallas Cowboys. That's really that in a nutshell. And if you can't establish a run or you can't establish who's going to be your featured back, it's going to be a long season for this offense and the Cowboys, because you're looking at the receiver spot. Brandon Cooks is good. We just couldn't find him. You see Jake Ferguson, I told y'all, he's my breakout player for this year. I think he changes a lot for this offense. Hopefully we get to see him this Sunday. But Cowboys, if you're not able to run the football, what that means, you're not a physical football team. That means you can't even practice against the run. And it shows. Your defense, that's been their Achilles heel against a physical football team. They're going to fold. They're not going to be good. And once you get up on them on multiple touchdowns and you force Dak to have to score touchdowns, it's going to be all downhill from there. So you're going to see what the Ravens are going to do. They're going to try to control the clock and punish these Cowboys. Take the win out themselves. That's exactly what they're going to try to do. Are the Cowboys physical enough up front? Missing Sam Williams is big too. That was a bigger loss probably than we expected. That was probably a bigger loss than we expect. But hey, it's just week 2. You still got 15 more games. But being from a guy who went to both, to this game, the blame goes around from top to bottom. From Jerry all the way down to the 53 man and the coaching staff. Like I said, special teams, to me, it made no sense to have Wanye Thomas back there, knowing that teams are not going to kick it to Cavante. Now, if teams were still going to kick it to Cavante, then you could have kept Wanye out there. I didn't care. But knowing that, okay, if he get loose, it's going to be a problem. Teams see that. You're acting like teams are some dummies. See, I think y'all underestimated them as a coaching staff and as the personnel players as well. And y'all fucked around and found out. So that was y'all call. That's what something y'all chose to do. That's y'all bed. Y'all got to lay in it. Y'all put that out on tape. Like I said, I want to go back and look at the all 22, but for me, it's really nothing too much to go ahead and look at. He might as well I'm just thinking about watching the Baltimore Ravens and getting that all 22 to see what we're going to be up against. Because there's nothing in this film that's going to get me like, bro, it's going to make him all mad again. And I was at the game, so let's not put ourselves through that much more torture than we already went through. Okay? All right. So that's that. So there, like I said, I stuck on the Cowboys to just get this off my chest because I really wish I would have got it off yesterday, but I wasn't able to do it coming from the game. I tried. I had the first few minutes, but once I got out the stadium into the Miller Lighthouse, it just wasn't happening. And then the back and forth started going. So yeah, that's how that happened. Normally I have vlogs of these games that I go to. It's not just of the ones that we win, but I'll take some of the losses. But at that point at the time of the game, bro, they were getting whooped so bad, he just stopped recording. It was just one of those type of moments. It wasn't nothing else you could see from it. So doing about that, how the Cowboys can move forward, they have no fucking choice but to move forward. You ain't got no choice. What can they do against the Shanahan tree? That's basically the question mark what everybody wanted to ask. What can this team do to get over the Shanahan tree hump? He said, number one, bro, and this is where it is on the players where I do agree with Michael Parsons, because I think Zimmer's game plan got straight up schooled. I really do. But that's not to say Mike Zimmer shouldn't be the coach, but I think his game plan got schooled. But at the same time, the game plan might be wrong, but don't let your effort follow with it. their effort followed with the game plan being wrong, and they just flat out quit. That's my problem that I have right there. That is my problem that I'm having. And it shouldn't be like that. It really shouldn't be like that. But it was. And for 2 straight home games that I didn't spend money, that I didn't work these long hours for, and trying to get to these games. Shit. Nah, bro. That is not cool. Now, I won't be surprised by Wednesday these tickets be cheap. I will not be surprised. These tickets get cheap because the last 2 playoff games, I can see people saying, "Nah, I'm out. I'm out." Not playoff games, but these last 2 home games, I can see people saying they out. But give the Saints their credit. They came out, they whooped that ass, bro. In our home stadium. To sit here and say the AT&T mystique is out the way, don't blame the fans. Trust me, do not blame the fans. Because I've been a dude who done went to a lot of these games. And when we won 16 straight, wasn't nobody talking about that shit then about how people are overflowing now. And now that the Cowboys done got whooped in their last 2 home games, don't be trying to blame that shit on the fans. Because last time I checked, the defenses have given up damn near 100 points in the last 2 home games. So you're getting outscored from the jump street. Man, that's something that this team got to look at the mirror, and they gotta come to grips with a real, reality to say, look, this can't happen again. We can lose, but to get undressed like that and get physically beat up like that, that's not cool. That shouldn't be happening. That shouldn't happen again. So let's just shake out of it. That's all you can do is get ready for week 2. Like I said, I would have normally brought y'all the numbers and all that type stuff, but there was nothing in this game that's going to make me sit here and be like, okay, these numbers, I need to tell y'all or anything like that. Who gives a shit? They got their ass whooped 44-19, and no matter what they were going to do, they were going to lose because their defense gave them no fucking shot. None. So, hey, all I can say is Cowboys shape up, man. I hear y'all talking. Like I said, Mike Zimmer's game plan, I believe, got schooled. But at the same time, y'all effort can't get schooled neither. So, yeah, that is where it falls on both of y'all. It is. It is. And the Cowboys, I'm telling you, the schedule is only going to get tougher from here, and they're going to go up against opponents that are going to be physical because the jury is out. But I do say the jury is not only do you get physical against the defense, but you have to score touchdowns. I think once the Saints were just scoring touchdowns, it just all made them quit. But they did the same thing to the Panthers. So, like I said, this was a well-coached team. These are 2 weeks where the offense is clicking like that. That shows you they're well-coached. They know what they're doing. They believe in it, and their players are executing. I can't say the same thing for the Cowboys because offensively in that Cleveland game, yeah, you can tell me for the first half, for majority of the first half, that offense was on it, but in the second half, they stumped. The first half against the Saints, they didn't stink. They just they didn't match touchdowns. And like I said, had they matched touchdowns, Saints would have put up 60 points. They would have won like 60-35 or some shit like that. So Cowboys got a lot of work to do, effort being one of them, but offensively, defensively, I think if they can just ever figure out how they want to play in the inside with the defensive tackles, they'll be all right. A concern I did have of what them was setting the edge, but looking at the way the Saints played it, they did a lot of chipping, helping off, going like that. So that's kind of, not everybody's probably going to do that, but it's probably something they need to remember. Secondary, I don't want to be too hard. Like I said, they got bombed on too. Bro, it's really depressing. It's really depressing to talk about it. But they got bombed on too. The whole unit got bombed on. Offensively, they just got to find a way when they get in between the 25 and on down, bro. They gotta cash in and make the money. Once they can do that, they got a shot to do whatever. But for a $60 million quarterback and a $34 million a year receiver, come on, man, y'all gonna have to figure it out. Y'all got to figure it out, and y'all need to figure it out with the quickness because the jury is out on y'all. What I will say, the season not over, but Mike McCarthy, your seat did just get hot. Reason your seat got hot is because you got thoroughly, your team got thoroughly out coached and outplayed. So every loss, you can have a loss long as it's not by clock management or a game like that happened yesterday where you get blowed out or self-inflicted game where you commit so many penalties or turn. Long as you ain't doing that, I believe he's gonna keep his job. But you mean to tell me you're gonna come out, man, bro? It just seems like against good teams, they're not coming out ready to play. That's on players and coaches. This whole game is on players and coaches. And, the GM and all that. Scouting too. We love Will McClay, but for y'all to take Mozzie Smith with a first round pick, no, we having buyer's remorse on that. Big time. Big time buyer's remorse. Because he's not really giving you anything. And that's a damn shame. Like I said, I ain't got no videos. I ain't got no stats. Fuck all that, bro. What happened was the Cowboys straight up got undressed. And they made their fans pay for it. But it's week 2, y'all. It's week 2. It's week 2. They come and they keep an old goose egg for the Baltimore Ravens. All can be, forgiven. All can be forgiven. Go on a little win streak here. Let's see. But now it's just on the Baltimore, man. Tomorrow I'll probably speak a little bit more if I'm able to hit that thing, hit the show up tomorrow. It's gonna always have to be late. But if I hit the show up tomorrow, because like I said, if I don't hit it tomorrow, you can always catch me Wednesday. I'm gonna do Heart of Texas Sports on IE Sports Radio, your direct feed for all that is sports on the YouTube channel as well. So if I don't hit y'all up tomorrow, looking at mostly everything that's DFW sports and kind of going over this game and seeing what's up with the Ravens coming up soon, then you can always make sure you catch me Wednesday. So, man, it's pretty late, everybody. That game is over between the Eagles and the Falcons. So let's go ahead and put that to bed. Like I said, man, we done seen better days. Unfortunately, the Cowboys, they got their asses handed to, getting destroyed 44-19. It is what it is. It's time for the Cowboys to wake up, move on. I'm gonna just glance at the all 22 just for the simple fact. I did pay for the NFL Plus app like that, so I guess I'll just run through the all 22 and go about that way, but then get ready for Baltimore Ravens. See what some things that they do and see my concerns, how they match up against the Dallas Cowboys. Also, we'll try to talk some more Rangers talk as they get ready to end their season coming down to here the end of September. We got hockey coming around, preseason hockey coming around here in a few weeks. Also, NBA Association gets ready to kick some things off. The Dallas Wings are getting ready to close their season out as well. So we got some summer sports coming to an end, and then we getting some more of the fall and then some of the winter sports that's coming back in here. So keep it live, keep it hot right here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, Andre Turner, my boy. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. I'm going to try to have some more things going here during the week. But for sure, appreciate y'all for tuning in, catching the playback. If you catch the playback tomorrow, listen to what your boy had to get up off his chest. Appreciate you for doing that. You already know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that notification chime on DFW Sports Raps. Y'all know where it is. I'm the one-man force, the eyes and flavor of DFW Sports. Make sure you follow me on X at Drewski Selfmade. Follow me on Instagram at it's Drewski. Probably more follow me on X because I keep Instagram kind of disabled. Just, it'd be some funny people watching you on Instagram, and I mean that like people be secretly jealous of you and stuff like that. So we really roll with X, and we get mostly all of our thoughts on sports going out that way. But we're gonna try to keep some more action coming in here. Stay tuned to my channel. I had some shorts from yesterday's game. I would have had the video, but I didn't finish recording everything just for the simple fact it just wasn't much more to record. But I'll have some shorts drop here. Check them out. Give them a like, give them a comment, give them a like, give them a share. Check it out. Until the next time, man, I will catch y'all, man. On the rebound, I still can't help it. We them boys. Only them boys got their asses fucking handed to. But on the Baltimore.